Thank you. 5 minutes. Alan Brown.
Back to PDA and monitoring or not monitoring. It's explained to me that vans sitting idling for a certain amount of time would automatically result in a chat for management as well. Is that normal practice?
Ricky?
Yeah, it's information that comes from telemetry system. It's not coming from PDAs, and it's pretty commonplace in commercial vehicles to have telemetry systems, and we do encourage drivers not to idle. It's not great for the planet, it pollutes the planet, and if they're parked up, to turn the engine off if they're parked for a prolonged period. But again, those would be inquiries about what created the idling time and to get the engine switched off where we can.
And we accept the argument about emissions, but it would be acceptable for guys to take a break with engine idling so they can actually catch a heat, particularly guys with health conditions, for example.
Definitely, yeah, and if that was the explanation, that they were on a break and the temperatures were very cool and they put the heating on, then that would be very reasonable.
You wouldn't expect follow-up chats after that?
I wouldn't, no.
Right, okay. Mr Thompson, you gave it, the last time you were here, you spoke about going out and about with the postman. You mentioned actually being out in operational procedures today. Now, every single postie I spoke to expressed concerns about the PDA, and their feeling, you might disagree, but their absolutely universal feeling that PDA has been used to monitor them, and it is a tool to manage performance, hence regular chats. So that was a unanimous feeling. So if you regularly go out with postmen, how have you not picked up on that concern that these posties have?
It's interesting, Mr. Brown, because I have not had, I mean, I am out and about constantly, and I go everywhere unannounced. I jump in my car, drive myself, and I just arrive there unannounced and have the discussion. I have not, to my recollection, had a direct conversation with a postie on that topic. But what I would say is if I go out and about, I would ask them to come and speak to me about it.
Because further to what Andy was asking earlier on, it's querying why you haven't put out clarifications about use of PDA since the committee evidence the last time. You wrote the letter to us saying it's not used for performance management, but obviously you haven't written out and clarified that with management. So did you not think even about asking posties, just like what I was talking about there? So you've been out and about, do you not even think to have that conversation then?
Well, I did. I went, one of the evidence pieces that was given here was actually from a place down in Medway in Kent, where, the poster had been showed, and I've said, that clearly was not acceptable. When I went down there, I did have a discussion with the team down there, including the local rep as well. And we did actually discuss that particular topic.
And just in answer to question 76, the last evidence session, you'd explained that you're making sure that during industrial action and the like, make sure that NHS letters were prioritised or separated.
Yes.
But there's subsequently been evidence given to the committee that, they might be separated at a source, but then they're just put back in, in the regular frames with the regular letters and parcels, and then they might or might not get delivered on time. So do you accept that evidence?
Ricky?
So the prioritisation happens upstream, so they go to the front end of a letter processing, so they will arrive in the delivery unit faster than other letters with the opportunity to be delivered. But you're quite right, they'll be delivered along with other letters, and therefore if there is a delay, it should only be for a day, because every other day, if a route's not going out, we always try and get to next day. So it's a one-day delay, but it is prioritised upstream in the network to get it the best.
It's pointless prioritising upstream if they then just go back into the frames with the rest of the mail, surely.
It does make a difference. It'll maybe take a day or two out of the process upstream, so it definitely gets them to our customers that are waiting on them sooner.
How much quicker do the NHS letters get delivered to the delivery depots compared to the other?
It would vary unit to unit. As I said earlier, and I'm not trying to be evasive in any way, 1,250 delivery units. Some will recover the next day and will be clearing the next day because people have worked during industrial action. Others will take 2 to 3 to 4 days to recover the network. The bulk recover within 3 to 4 working days. Some have got a tail, and that's where the regional teams will look to move resource about and support the earliest possible recovery.
So it's 3 to 4 days to recover the backlog. then the prioritised NHS letters still can be caught up in that 3 to 4 day
No,
backlog.
because what I said is that we would, if there's a part of a route hasn't went out, it would be covered the next day. That's a process. That's what we.
Absolutely, and that's across the board then.
Yes, that's the approach.
Right. That'll be interesting.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our time and our